Okay, folks, welcome back to 3Zen. For my last story this afternoon, I need to tell you a joke to kind of give you the background behind the story. So, it seems like these two little Indian boys were out playing one afternoon, and during the course of their play, they got to wondering, how do we come by our names? That's something that no one's ever taken time to explain. So, they walked up to one of their fathers and they said, "Say, Dad, how is it we come by our names? We're kind of curious about that." And the father looked around. He was kind of nervous about it all, and he spotted the medicine man. So he says, "Tell you what, that's the guy you want to go see." So they ran over the medicine man and collared him, and they said, "Pardon me, excuse me," or whatever they say. They said, "We're kind of curious how we come by our names. Can you tell us?" And the medicine man said, "Why, yeah, I can tell you." He says, "The way it works is when the woman with child is about ready to deliver, she goes into the sacred tent, the sacred teepee. And we have sweet grass in there and singing and the slow drum beat and so forth. And when she delivers the child, I will take the child and bless the child. And then I will go outside the teepee, and the first thing I see is usually how the child comes by its name. Now, I might see wisping clouds, I might see a running brook, a leaping deer, climbing bear, soaring eagle. It just depends on what I see. And that is the essence of how I come by the names. By the way, why so many questions today, two dogs fucking? So, that you have to have as the basis for the story here. Now, we had this IP in the 560th, DB, and DB gets an assignment to C5s out on the East Coast. So off he goes. And then he comes back to San Antonio. He served his commitment, got out of the Air Force, came back to San Antonio, and took a job as a reservist in their C5 outfit. And he really wanted to get on full-time with the C5s. So he applied for it, and he got in line with everybody else. Getting an Air Reserve technician slot is either hit or miss. But at this particular time, they really weren't hiring. So anyway, his timing was impeccable. He put in for it just at the time Clinton came in, or was in a little bit. And Clinton administration was all about making sure that the government agencies had minorities in them. Okay, fine. So they put the word out, if you have any minorities in your outfit, we need to give them preferential treatment to balance the scale, if you will. Okay, DB gets word of this, and he thinks to himself, hey, I am 164th Cherokee Indian, or whichever Indian it was. So he takes his paperwork, goes over to CBPO and presents it to them, and they look it over. Now DB has just solved this guy's problem. By giving DB a Air Reserve technician, he meets the requirements put on him by the feds. So he gets moved ahead of everybody else in line and gets a Air Reserve technician slot. Well, as you might imagine, that kind of you might could say kind of pissed off a couple folks, but they got over it. Okay, fine. So soon thereafter, they have this naming night where we get our call signs. And during the night, someone came up with the idea that because DB had claimed he was Native American by design or in nature, they gave him the call sign Major Two Dogs. Go figure. So from then on, he was known as Major Two Dogs. At any rate, I had heard about it. It just cracked me up. So I had heard about it, and one afternoon I was flying for the airlines, and I'm up over North Dakota or somewhere, heading west, and I actually remember the evening, and I heard this San Antonio C5 check on the frequency. And I think their call sign might have been Alamo, I'm not sure. At any rate, I hear them check on, And I just couldn't stand it. I hit the mic button and I said, "Hey, Alamo," I said, "Major Two Dogs on board tonight?" And it got kind of quiet, and then this guy calls back and starts laughing. He said, "No, sir, he's not on board, but we'll tell him you said hi." And I said, "Okay, fine." So just kind of let it go. But the reason I'm bringing this up tonight, or today, is tomorrow is DB's birthday, and it still makes me laugh. And so I just wanted to take a moment here to say, hey, Major Two Dogs, happy birthday, and thanks for stopping by. See ya.